What's good, Black Star Podcast? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Jared. Y'all, today we're going to be doing a video from Anton Daniels, and this is a video of him doing a panel show. Now, Anton is going to get into it with the guy on this panel, I believe it's Trey, and it's about what is a woman. Now, this guy right here can't even answer the fact of what is a woman. And the problem that I have with a lot of Democrats is this. You put the question in front of them about what is a woman. They can't answer that fucking question. They will go around the fucking rainbow just to make a damn point. Just to say some bullshit. Not make a point. Just to say some bullshit. What is a woman? Oh, what is what a person feels. What the fuck does that mean? But listen to this goofy ass shit right here.
And this is the date of this article is literally September 25th, 2024.
Okay, his stock, but it's
so listen. Let's not focus. Let's not focus on that stupid stuff. Let's focus on everyday Americans.
But we're talking about
if you go out, and I actually
running our country and having the foresight to
give me a second, ma'am. Give me a second, ma'am.
Okay.
If you go out and you talk to people every single day, and I'm outside talking to people every other day. As a matter of fact, I just recently dropped the first installment of Street Interviews where I'm talking to regular everyday people in everyday cities every day. Every day. Overwhelmingly, people are saying that my life was better in 2016 through 2020 versus 2021 up till now. That is the sentiment of the people. They saying that I could have afforded things back then. My groceries were lower, my gas was lower, my lifestyle was better, and I was thriving at that time. And they're saying that now, at no point during this Harris-Biden administration have I been thriving as a result of them being president and vice president of the United States of America. So we can talk about billionaires, but none of us is billionaires. When we talking about everyday Americans, they are suffering. Debt out of control. People have been getting their cars repossessed at an unprecedented rate. If it wasn't for the rent moratorium, more people would have been thrown on their head as a result of evictions. Foreclosures are up. And it's not like it's a lack of housing that's available when she's saying that I want to build 3 million houses by the end of her first term. There's 1.8 million houses that's available for sale right now. We have an affordability problem. People have wages that are increased, but it still didn't even keep up with the rate of inflation. So if you're sitting here and you're telling me that people are benefiting as a result of their policies, which you can't cite the policies, but I am familiar with the infrastructure bill. I am familiar with all of the things that she's implemented and the things that they baked into it that don't even have anything to do with the subject of what the bill is. I am familiar with the bipartisan deal as far as them trying to act like that they wanted to close off the borders and add 1,500 new migrants. But at the same time, they still implemented the new parole policy earlier in 2003 that allowed for them to fly up to date more than 1 million migrants into these different places, which is one of the reasons why you'll have 20,000 people that just pop up in Springfield. I'm familiar with every single thing that they're doing. You know why? Because I've covered it every single day over the last 3.5 years. So if you're telling me that people's lives is better, or are you telling me you just voting for it because you don't like Trump, then separate the two. Because anytime
I can tell you other reasons. I can tell you other reasons.
I ask a Kamala Harris supporter why they like Kamala Harris, they keep telling me why they don't like Trump. Tell me what you like about her and cite the policy. Please stop making excuses as to why you don't like somebody else, because that is not a reason why you should vote for somebody is against somebody else.
I didn't give you the reason that I didn't like him. I could give you plenty of those, but I didn't give you that.
And help me to understand how the next 4 to 8 years, your life will be beneficial as a result of it, and you're not going to get more of the same of what we experienced over the last 3.5 years.
Have you noticed that anytime you ask a person what do they like about Kamala Harris, they always bring up some shit about Trump. I've noticed that shit I've noticed that shit where I work at. I've noticed that shit when I talk to my mom. I've noticed that shit around a lot of people. They never can answer the question, but they always got some shit to say about Trump. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like Trump as a person. But when I say that my pockets were a little bit fatter when I was younger and I didn't have to work two jobs back to back, literally getting off from one job and going to another one, and I didn't have to kill myself, damn near kill myself, my pockets was a little fatter. When I was at the job that I was at, I was making enough money to where when I was working at Walmart, I was working at Walmart for 2017 to 2020. I was able to afford my bills. 2021 hit, I got a job at 2020, late 2020, I got a job at BMW. And I worked there up until 2023. I had to get a second job because I couldn't afford my bills. 2023, I had to get a second job. Which is my job I'm currently working at now. The end of 2023, I started working for Tradesman International. And I was working day and night again. I could not afford my rent. I could not afford my bills. And that's the problem that nobody seems to damn recognize when it comes to talking about Biden and Harris. You can't afford to take a shit in your fucking bathroom. You gotta work 2 to 3 jobs just to be able to afford your fucking rent. I have a moderator that had to unsubscribe from the Patreon because she's having to work 3 jobs and she cannot afford her bills. Granted, I need to post more on Patreon. But still, the fact that matters is that she's working 3, not 2, but 3 fucking jobs. And you telling me that I'm in the wrong for wanting some shit to fucking change because of the bullshit that we gotta go through? I had to block somebody earlier today because they said South Carolina, Florida, and all these red states is getting what they deserve. I'm looking like, bitch, if your funky ass, if I was a mean son of a bitch, and I would say if you get robbed in a blue city, you deserved it, I would be a dick. But for you to sit here and say, because I'm in a red state, meanwhile, your funky ass is probably trying to look and go to a red state because your failed fucking policies of Democrats, they ain't keeping you fucking safe. But yeah, you had the fucking nerve and the gall and the actual the audacity to get your musty ass on my goddamn platform and comment below one of my fucking videos talking about South Carolina is getting what it deserves. Bitch, you can go fuck yourself and die in the damn hurricane that's going on right now. And I meant that shit. I don't give a fuck what you got to say. I meant every fucking word of what I just said. You over here mad at Republicans. Yes, Republicans do some stupid ass shit. But a lot of the shit that we got going on in today's economy is because of the president of the United States and the vice president that can't seem to literally make a fucking sentence without a damn teleprompter. Let's continue.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions. You said you talked to many people who are losing their homes. I find that, where did you find that site? Because one, I don't know anybody.
I'm on the street. I'm on the street.
On the street.
She said, what site? That tells me a lot about her. She's not connected to the ground. She's a boule. I know people that are getting evicted. that have gotten evicted. I was one of them that got evicted from my last apartment because I couldn't afford my rent. Luckily, I was able to get an apartment quickly, and I wasn't homeless. But still, the fact of the matter is that I got evicted. So I know there's tons of Americans that got evicted. Look all over TikTok. People crying about getting evicted. We know this is happening. There's subscribers that I have that's possibly gotten evicted. There's a lot of people that's gotten evicted. But you had the nerve to sit here and say, what site? Bitch, if you don't put your ear down to the damn streets and look around you, stop looking at CNN, stop looking at fucking Fox News, stop looking at damn Media One, stop looking at every MSNBC, stop looking at these damn different news networks. Cause they ain't gonna tell you the truth about a lot of the shit that's going on. You gotta look in the nook and crannies where the damn media ain't at. And there's a lot of nook and crannies. The media only covers a small subset that gets sponsored by their donors and promoters. But if you going through something, that shit ain't gonna get highlighted. There's a lot of shit that's going on that wouldn't happen to Hurricane Helene that ain't even getting covered by the media. Pink Book Lessons just covered one. I'm probably gonna do a video on that. But it's the fact of the matter is that a lot of this shit ain't getting covered. And this is the very type of woman that will look at the media and say, oh, damn, that's going on. Meanwhile, there'll be a whole bunch of other shit that she don't know about. And then when you tell her about it, that's not right. The media would have covered it. Meanwhile, they don't realize the media will lie straight to your fucking face about shit that's going on. Sponsored and paid for by politicians. You dummy.
Okay.
Every day I do interviews. Every other day I do an interview.
Okay. Do you know anyone?
And foreclosures are up. Once the rent moratorium went out, a lot of people got evicted. A lot. And the only reason some people didn't get evicted in some of these cities is because if you go out to California, for example, they have stronger laws in order to make sure it's difficult for you to be able to evict certain people that's in these houses. And we're not even talking about the landlords that suffered as a result of the rent moratorium and them not paying rent for all of that amount of time and them having to go to the banks and try to negotiate being able to keep the houses themselves, because the majority of the people that are landlords are one property, two property landlords. They're not large corporations and people that are rich. It's a lot of people that suffered. And I got a lot of friends that own a lot of property that said that, hey, this fucked me up because they basically installed this moratorium and they allowed for these people to live in my crib for free. They tore it up and now I couldn't even get no rent as a result of it. And I had to figure out how to float the property. Okay. That's real life. And you talking to somebody
and so do I.
I own over 20 properties.
Well, no, I don't own over 20. So I only own one. And I'm going to tell you one thing. Since Biden has been into office, our property, I don't know where you live, what state you live, but in Texas and in most places, the home's values have tripled.
You know what her dumbass didn't read up on? California's moving out of California because of Gavin Newsom and his policies. New York citizens are moving from New York. Chicago citizens are moving from Chicago. Seattle, they're moving. That ain't getting covered by the media, by the way. A lot of people from Seattle, they're starting to move because they can't afford the cost of living. A lot of people are moving from these damn blue states because they can't afford the cost of living. California has literally the highest taxes in the states. Same with New York. You get the reason why the taxes are high is because people are leaving. People are leaving, so they're trying to cover their bottom line. And Anton's about to explain that too. Listen to this.
So
do you know why?
So you tell me how.
I'll tell you why.
Please.
Want me to tell you why?
Yes.
Because everybody were leaving blue states and running the red states. That's why you kept seeing slogans of people saying, don't turn my Texas into California. Everybody were running from the Democratic plantations that they basically created that was horrible. The Chicagos, the Californias, everywhere in California, New York, they were all leaving and coming to red states and trying to turn them blue. And that's why you're seeing the properties explode in value. But if you actually look at the states themselves, Houston is a blue city. Dallas is a blue city. These cities are Democratic strongholds now, and they over there fucking up the market because you got a lot of people that were running from the places that they created. That's why the property values exploded in those places.
So, Anton, you're of a belief that the Democratic exodus is what surged real estate prices?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
In particular, 2 states surged prices nationally.
No, it wasn't just 2 states. People moved to Nashville. They moved to Tennessee. They moved to Nevada. It was a lot of people that did that. A lot of people left these Democrats. And that's why what you see is there's an influx of people trying to repopulate a lot of these states and these cities, such as Chicago, and they allowing for these migrants to come into these places and buy these homes. Absolutely. And if you look over in Chicago, the reason that you know it's an exodus, because more people left California than went in during the Biden-Harris administration. More people left New York than went in. More people left Chicago than went in. And what they did was, in order to make sure that they allowed for the budget deficits that they're facing over there, they're raising property taxes. And there's people over in Chicago and Cook County whose property taxes is jumping 86%, while the actual city itself is facing a budget deficit of over $1 billion. $250 million this year, $942 million next year.
But you would acknowledge correlation doesn't equal causation, and you don't know the reason why people are leaving. You would acknowledge that, right?
Bro, what the fuck does that mean? Correlation is equivalent to causation, man, sir. Okay, let me put it like this: if you correlate the taxes, the inability to be able to pay for your cost of living, with your salary, that causes you to want to move out of the state. That is a correlation. Let me stop before I start saying some ungodly words that I've already said earlier.
Okay, you tell me why they're leaving. Why are they running the red states?
But I just looked it up.
Hey, you know what? And this is going to be the first time I actually agree with Anton right here. Being a person that's from Chicago and Illinois in general, Illinois has one of the highest state income taxes that you can have. Then Chicago adds on to that another city tax. They tax you at every turn. And when you look at it as far as for manufacturing or jobs, especially if you're going to be either in healthcare, engineering, any of the big jobs that you want to have, there's a relatively shortage on those jobs. And companies themselves have moved from those areas. They've moved from California, they've moved from Nevada, they moved from a lot of places. And where did they move? Majority Texas. And that's why you see so many people come down to Houston. You got Exxon, you got Chevron, you got Raytheon, you got so many companies that moved to Texas.
Right. But that's cost.
Why did they move?
You want to know something funny? I'm originally from Charlotte, North Carolina, okay? I travel down there damn near every month. I go to see my family, that's my home city. You don't want to know how many times I've seen a California tag, a Chicago, Illinois, or Illinois tag, a New York tag. I've seen a lot of out-of-state tags in Charlotte. You have Siemens. You have a lot of different companies, manufacturing companies that are going to Charlotte specifically. Banking. Charlotte is home to Bank of America's home. That's Bank of America's home headquarters. is in Charlotte, North Carolina. So when I mean that a lot of people are moving to these places to Charlotte, I can literally I can tell you this because I'm from Charlotte. He's from Chicago. He sees them leaving. So what is Trey telling us? What is Trey really trying to tell us? When I'm from Charlotte and I see these people coming, they're coming to Greenville, South Carolina too, because Greenville is being built up. There's houses and developments being built damn near everywhere around this motherfucker. Damn near everywhere. There's new businesses coming to Charlotte. I'm into Greenville. Proterra is in Greenville. Their plants in Greenville. BMW manufacturing is in Greenville. Was in Greer. You have Freightliner. There's more job. There's actually the post office where they're building the trucks. That's in Gaffney, I believe. People are coming to the South because the jobs are coming to the South. Cheaper land, cheaper taxes. South Carolina's a red state. I believe North Carolina's a blue state or a red state. I can't really remember. But these people are coming from far west. They're coming from the West Coast, coming to the East Coast because this is where the jobs are going. Now, I've been one to think outside of the box. What a lot of these companies don't realize is that if they move some of their manufacturing over towards, let's say, Arizona, you got massive plots of land out in Arizona. But you got to also think about it like this too. You have the weather coming from California. And then also, Arizona has a lot of taxes being taxed on them too. They're leaving too. Because there are no jobs there. Seriously?
Go to Texas, one, state tax, none.
Because it's
And
not
then-
a business-friendly environment, and they think that they can tax their way to wealth, but basically they're running companies out there that's basically paying the majority of the taxes. That's why you see what's happening over in Oakland. That's why you see what's happening in San Francisco. It's happening all across these Democratic strongholds, and people are running away, even though they voted for the same policies and the same governors that's basically ruining their states. It's a fact.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but if the housing rate has tripled and there
In certain
are,
areas.
I'm sorry?
In certain areas.
Okay. And there are not as many jobs available and the cost of living hasn't increased, wouldn't that create an affordability problem?
Absolutely. That's
I'm
what we
sorry.
said.
I'm sorry. Wait. Say that again. I'm a C student. I'm slow.
Okay, so if the value of housing has tripled in some areas, if there are not as many jobs available, so
There's not
basically
as
the
many
unemployment
jobs.
rate has increased.
There's not as many jobs available in certain areas.
Okay.
But there
And
are more jobs in places where they're running too. So, for example, how we indicated Exxon is moving their headquarters down in Texas. How we indicated that Tesla is moving their headquarters and they built the Gigafactory down there in Texas. How X and SpaceX is moving their headquarters down in Texas. There's a lot.
And you want to know the crazy part is? Elon, I believe, notified everybody that they was going to be pulling out of California in about 2020, 2021, 2022. He said that we were going to be moving out of California and we're going to be going to Texas. That's when shit hit the fan. Microsoft moved their headquarters out of California, I believe. Same thing with Apple. So if you really look at it, that was already a precursor, anyways.
A lot of jobs that are flocking over to there, but there's not as many because of automation and AI and things like that. And so there has been a huge exodus in tech layoffs. There has been a huge exodus in a lot of the jobs that people do every single day. And so there is suffering and there is some problems that's happening in a lot of these places that people are running away from. Absolutely.
So I just looked up something, right? And it said that in the first half of 2024, foreclosure activity in the US was lower than in the same period of 2023. But in some states saw a significant increase. And I'm looking up stats regarding in the past years, like when Trump was in office, foreclosures was higher compared to now.
Cite your sources, Q.
Q said she looked it up. Okay. But simply looking it up doesn't mean that you're always right. Just because you look at one site doesn't make it true. That's why Anton said cite your sources.
Okay, I'll put it.
And specifically,
I have no game, I'm no stats.
Because we can throw blanket statements, but let's get to the context. Let's cite our source and let's go into it. Anybody else that is caping for Kamala? Why are you voting for Kamala Harris, Alderwoman Harris?
Because she black.
Y'all not gonna get me.
No, I'm asking, why are you voting for Kamala Harris?
You can go back to the first video and find out.
No, I'm asking you personally because you may have changed your perspective.
No, I haven't. One of the reasons why I'm voting is because I need to protect my personal right. Fuck cancer, because I'm a breast cancer survivor. If I lose the ability, if I lose my job and don't have insurance, I'm fucked for the rest of my life. So regardless of what you represent, Republican or Democrat, if you say something ignorant, I'm talking to anybody on that point of it, then you need to take a slow walk.
I'm trying to understand how that directly ties.
Because they want to repeal the Affordable Care Act, which provides protection for me.
He didn't repeal the Affordable Care Act.
So it helps regulate my hormones. Where do I got to cite? You can go to the .gov. They want the Trump administration, when he first got in there, was trying to appeal it, but didn't have enough votes.
Right. And it was, what was his name? The older guy that passed away.
So basically so hold on. Let me summarize it. So what you're saying is that you leverage Obamacare in order to make sure that your health care is taken care of. And so is that true?
I leverage the protection. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, healthcare, if you, I don't know, most of you don't even probably realize this, but if you rewind about 20 years ago or more, the insurance industry would only allow you to have insurance if you did not work for a company, if you had cancer, any kind of heart condition, even if you had asthma. You could have been turned away. Even if you could afford it,
life
you couldn't buy it
until you are 5 years clear. So this is my 4th year. Next year, this time, I'll be able to get life insurance. I wasn't one of those people that thought about doing it. You know what I mean? I was ignorant to it. Now having something and dealing with that, it's like, yes, I need to get my life together. So now I want to be able to get some life insurance, and I got to be 5 years no cancer clear to be able to do that.
I can't argue for or against that because I don't know enough about that to be able to.
I tell you what, if you get sick or you get a family member that gets sick, you will learn to quickly identify with it, because as you age, you will get sicker and you will have a family member that will be sick. And if Trump was to have his way, or the Republicans, and say they would repeal it, trust me, you would be one of those. If you owned your own business, you wouldn't be able to get insurance. You'd have to work with somebody.
Just because you get older.
You sure about that?
Oh, I'm 100%. I'm an insurance agent. I can tell you definitely.
So you're telling me that I wouldn't be able, I would be, nah, I'm not gonna make it about me.
You would be denied. You would have been denied insurance.
One thing
you would have been denied.
one thing I didn't agree with when it was implemented with Obama, though, was forcing people to have it. And if you didn't have insurance, you were fined. I didn't agree with that. If you don't want insurance, then you don't get insurance. If they created affordable care, allow it to be affordable. But to make people have health insurance, and then if they don't do it, they get, I think it was like $90. That's not right to low income people that have a probably, low income job where they can't even get insurance. And then they also, a lot of people don't think that, why am I going to pay a premium? And I don't need to go to the doctors that much. So there are people that in this world that live like that. So having that penalty, I didn't agree with that. So in that part of the Obamacare and that policy and process, Affordable Care Act, I didn't necessarily support that.
I can't speak to that again, because I don't know enough about it. So, I'm not gonna argue that at all.
Yeah. They were
I can
saying
only argue
if you had a family. They were like, it's like $300 if you had a family, and none of y'all had. Each person that wasn't insured was fined.
I've never been in that position because I've always had insurance. So I don't know anything about it. That's not something that would concern me. I am curious as to how Trey is voting and why.
I'm definitely leaning left. I think that a woman should have the right to choose. I don't like. You disagree?
Now, here comes the bullshit.
I just want to hear the rest of what you got to say first.
You laughed already. I'm just asking you. Apparently, you disagree. You don't think a woman?
I got to hear the rest of what you say before I can say whether I agree or disagree.
But you were already laughing, so apparently you already
because
disagree.
You're not a woman. So what does that got to do with you?
So most of the positions that you hold only pertain to you and not to anybody else? Because I hear you say
why you were voting the way you were voting and why. I'm trying to hear you out. I laugh because you're not a woman. And so I'm trying to understand how that applies to you, but I'm willing to hear you out.
Okay, perfectly fine. But I'm just so we can just be transparent, because I've heard a lot of your guys' positions, especially yours on the LGBTQ, and you aren't a part of that community, but you pass a lot of opinions on them. Correct?
Yeah, I think that is weak, and I think that the Obama administration left us with a lasting legacy that is going to be a stain on this country for the rest of my life. But I don't deny people's humanity. I just don't agree with their lifestyle. But I don't agree with a lot of things that people do. I don't agree with doing drugs in the community. I don't agree with a lot of things. So I mean, but that has no impact on whether or not what does that have to do with the question that I asked you?
Because their lifestyle doesn't pertain to you because you aren't a member of those communities.
What is that? No. I asked you why you were voting the way that you were voting and why. And I'm trying to understand, how does that have to do? What does that have to do with whether or not I agree with people's lifestyle?
Because what you just previously stated was you laughed at me because I said I support women's rights, and you laughed because you said I'm not a woman. Therefore, why would I care? So I could ask you, why do you care about LGBTQ when you're not a part of the community?
Because I think that the things that they're doing and the things that they're trying to pass off affects everybody. The way that they're trying to put things in schools and in books that's not relevant to how I would teach my child is absolutely atrocious. I absolutely hate the fact that they're trying to. I'm sorry.
I think I agree with that. It's just how you think. I reject what you're saying, but I agree with your sentiment.
How do you reject it and you haven't heard the full thought of what I'm about to say?
Just how you laughed at me mid-sentence.
Like I said, I don't agree with what they're trying to put in our books. I don't agree with the fact that they allowing for men to be in women's sports. I don't agree with the fact that you can go in any bathroom that you want to, because again, I was sitting in Miami's airport and I see a grown fucking man walked in the bathroom behind my daughter. That was fucking egregious. And so when I see a lot of the things that it's then creating as a result of going down this path, I 100% disagree with it.
And I think that it's fair. I disagree with your characterization of it, but I agree with your sentiment.
What characterization of it?
See, here's where you become too smart for your own fucking good. When you start saying some dumbass shit like that, that's when you become too smart for your own good. Now, Anton literally just sat here and explain why he disagrees with the shit. This man over here, basically, he seemed a little suspect to me. to be honest with you. I ain't even gonna cap. He look a little suspect. Sound a little suspect. But the fact of the matter is that he's trying to challenge him based upon him laughing mid-sentence when I laughed too, because he sounded ridiculous. But the fact of the matter is that he's trying to challenge it. It has no premise of his challenge. That's what makes it look stupid.
That there's just a slew of transgender individuals just running into bathrooms and trying to play sports.
I didn't say that.
You just mentioned the transgender man going into a restroom, no? Or did you just say a man?
I cited an example of why I don't like that particular policy and how it's starting to transpire across the United States of America in different places.
Okay, but what's the?
I never said. See, you can't put words in my mouth. You got to say what I said if that's what you're going to use in order.
But
to
it's
have
the implication though, because if something was
I don't
only
do implications. I do exactly what I said. I said I don't like that, and you agreed with the first couple points. But then when I talked about going in the bathroom, for some reason that bothers you. I don't know why that triggered you.
No, it bothers me because I think the implication or the insinuation is that you're seeing it frequently happening.
I don't like it if it happens one time.
Okay.
I've witnessed it happen, and it was not a transgender. It's it's men that look just like you. They're walking in bathrooms because they have the right to, so they feel. This is something that a lot of women are experiencing. So I just
So
wanted to add that.
wait. Let me ask you one question, Trey.
Mm-hmm.
What is a woman? What is a woman to you?
A person who identifies as a woman.
Hold up, nigga, what? Did he hold up, wait. Did he really just say that? Wait a minute. Sorry, mama. Hold up. Did he really just say that shit? Hold up. Wait a minute. Sorry, Smuggles. He really just say that shit? Hold up. Hold up. Wait a damn minute. Did he really just say that bullshit?
Let me ask you one question, Trey.
Mm-hmm.
What is a woman? What is a woman to you?
A person who identifies as a woman.
And this is who we allow to vote. This is who we allow to This is who we allow to come on platforms and speak. Right here. What the fuck? I hate people.
There you go.
So I can identify as a woman and go into a woman's bathroom, and that's acceptable?
If you present and that's your gender,
what
then
the fuck? Wait a minute.
Would you have answered that way 10 years ago?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't think I don't think I'm educated enough to really answer that question fully now, but I definitely wasn't educated enough 10 years ago.
So if somebody asked 10 years ago what a woman was, you would be like, I don't know.
100%. I thought sex and gender were the same thing 10 years ago.
So a woman.
This is why I hate fucking some liberals.
Is anybody that identifies as a woman.
Gender
and
is
they
a
should
social
have all of, and no, it's not. And they should have all of the benefits and all of the privileges that comes with a biological woman.
No.
I give up. I fucking give up. You cannot for the life of me tell me that what I say is wrong when you have people like this out here recklessly saying some shit like that. Now, I don't know if this man got any kids, but the fact of the matter is that this man said that bullshit, that would have took every ounce of my body for me not to come about my soul and say some shit to his ass. It will be a zesty Negro like that to say some shit like that. I'm gonna just say that. You don't know what you believe that a woman is somebody that identifies as a woman. What the fuck does that mean? A woman is a woman. A woman gives birth. Not this new age bullshit of, oh, it's whatever she deserves. It's whatever she identify or whatever that person identifies as. Yeah, we gonna keep it biological over here. A woman is a woman, a man's a man. A woman has a vagina, a man has a penis. We gonna just keep it at that. We ain't about to be over here with no damn magical damn artifact saying this is a woman. Meanwhile, that motherfucker got a dick longer than mine. Nope, we ain't about to do that. Nope. But anyway, oh man, I hate these people. Anyways, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you guys for listening. Bye, guys.